So you're always going to learn more from losses, right? That's my thing. And actually, Savi's been saying this lately, which I totally agree with. Sometimes your first loss is kind of just collecting data, and I totally agree with that because, um, if you have an idea and it fails, sometimes, the trade after that is the real trade, and you're just going to have a whole lot more confidence in your next trade if your first idea was kind of wrong and you're willing to admit it kind of right away. You're collecting data, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you can accept it right away and just admit that you were wrong, move on, and then, just be present basically, right? So this was my trade idea. Um, oh no, there it didn't disappear. It's right here. Yeah, it was good. I guess it was back to back. Here, let's just move this over so we can see the winning one and the losing one. So yeah, and that's basically what I did. I admitted that I was wrong, and then I kind of flipped essentially, right? So we came down. This is the 15 minute. This is basically all I've been trading lately. Um, and especially because I have Brad on the live all the time, he's either on the 1 minute or the 2 minute, so I don't really like switch back and forth a whole lot. I, I, it's super clean on the 15 minute, and the bigger the time frame, the cleaner it's gonna look. If you're getting chopped up on the smaller time frame, I'd like extremely suggest at least going to the 5 minute. I love the 15 minute. You can really see in the clean sweeps. It gives you pretty decent entries. So when we came down and I found these levels well, this target is a 15-minute target, which I love a lot. So we came down, we got bought up, and then we pushed through it. So typically, so when we came at market open, we pushed right through this support, turning this will be resistance now. Um, but for whatever reason, whenever you get wicks like this inside of a 15-minute gap, price seems to always like to revisit those areas to rebalance. I don't know why, and something like it'll come back up here and usually just chop around for a bit. I don't know why, but we've been seeing that a lot. Maybe not so much recently, but towards the beginning of summer, it was like every single day. Um, so anyways, we came down, we had this indecisive candle. So I was expecting for us to come up to this target and then maybe continue it. I really didn't care what it did afterwards. I just wanted it to come up and rebalance to this target. That was the trade idea. It did not. I basically top ticked it, which was, very disappointing. But um like I only had 2 micros on, so it wasn't, it's not a big deal. And then once this candle like kind of flipped red again, I knew I was wrong right away, because it should not do that. We came down, we flipped green, we should not flip back red. So it's either we're gonna sit here and range, which means I was wrong, or we're gonna push down, which means I was wrong. So it was just as soon as we flip red, I got out. And then once I seen us kind of well, actually, I didn't know this level was here, Brad's level, and when he mentioned it, I was like, damn, that's probably going to be the draw, is that target. And I actually, before even then, like even pre-market, I was looking at these equal highs here. That's how I got this. This is old resistance. Now it's going to hold up as new support. And like sometimes these, even though like how we always target like equal highs if we're coming up to it, like as we were coming up here, we knew these equal highs were the draw. Well, it kind of works the other way around too. A lot of the times we'll come back down to those equal highs or equal lows. And you guys will notice that quite often. So I was going into the day, I was I had a feeling these equal highs would be the draw. And then I realized Brad's level was down here, so that was like double confirmation that maybe the draw is lower. So once I realized, okay, we had that indecisive candle. Basically, we just swept the top of it. We didn't get into the gap, showing extreme weakness. because we should have came up higher, but we didn't even have not enough strength to even get into the gap. So that's just showing me extreme weakness. Once we got below this support area, and how did I get this? This was just right here. This was just old. So, price struggled to go lower here, struggled to go lower here. So it's obvious support. Once we got below it and we were kind of just sitting around it, I was had enough confidence to go short. So I did get my loss back, and I actually broke even to the freaking penny, which I have no idea how that happened. When I looked at my P&L for the day, I was blown away by that. That's never happened to me before, but it was the first time for everything. So literally ended the day with $0, 0 cents, which is pretty cool. And yeah, those were my two trades. Now, with that being said, I shouldn't have taken the second trade because I've been saying for over a week now that I'm kind of on a new journey of just taking one trade a day with very small size, growing this account. The way anybody with a new account, with a $2,000 account, I have a take profit 50K account, which I have showed you guys in the channel. It's my balance sitting at $147. So I did end up losing a couple of dollars just for transaction fees. Um, but it's a brand new account. And with take profit, you actually don't even get $2,500 trailing drawdown. You only get $2,000 of trailing drawdown, which, it makes it a little bit more tough, but that's perfectly fine. So I'm trading it like a $2,000 account. So technically, because I didn't catch this full move, like I let it come back on me, uh, I think I ended up leaving about $100 on the table. So now my drawdown is only $1,900, right? So I got to keep that in the back of my mind, but not really. Like it's not 1900 is still with the size that I. So basically, the way I'm thinking of it right now is if I trade two micros, let's do the math. Sorry, I'm terrible at math. But if I'm willing to lose, say, $200, right? So 200 divided by 4, that's 50 points, right? So if you have two micros for every point, you're going to make or lose $4, right? So I would have to lose 50 points and that's $50, sorry, $200. So that means I would have to lose 10 times in a row for me in order to blow an account. I I think that's gonna be pretty hard for me to do. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Like if I lose uh $2,000, or sorry, 10 trades in a row of 50 points each trade, like that's obviously I'm doing something wrong, right? I'm doing something wrong. So that's the game plan. It's gonna be a slow go. I think my profit, I don't really have a target in mind, but I'm gonna be extremely happy if I make between 500 and $1,000 a month. In the whole month, I'll be happy with that. Even if I make less than that, I'll still honestly, I really don't care. It's not about the P&L at all. It's just about sticking to one trade a day and putting myself in the best position possible. Realizing, quality over quantity. That's basically the biggest objective is just quality over quantity. Because realistically, like the way I've been trading, sticking to only trading where there is support or resistance, I there's really no more trades than at most I'm gonna see maybe three trades in a very volatile day. So a day like today, what did I really see? Well, I guess like coming down to Brad's level would have been the best trade of the day, to be honest. And that was approaching lunchtime. I try not to trade in the slower, like there's not a whole lot of volume going on around lunchtime. Like that's when all the big banks are kind of on break. So it's just not really where I typically try to put on risk. Mind you, I mean, for a big reversal around lunchtime is usually kind of where the market shifts. But anyways, it's all about price and time. It's got to align. It's got to be at putting myself in the best position possible. So what does that exactly mean? It means I always look at where price is struggling. And that's literally this it's so stupid simple. It's just mind-blowing because all I'm doing is looking left and trying to figure out and not even try it's so easy to spot where did price struggle? Because wherever price struggled in the past, the chances are it's going to do it again. Like especially the next time it comes to it. Maybe it's not going to happen 10 times in a row, but if it struggled right here, the chances are the next time it comes to it, it's going to struggle again, right? And it did, even right here. You got a little red candle, you know? And then if this is resistance, the chances are when we come back to it, it's going to be support. Now, it didn't here because it just time, right? The timing, it was market open. We kind of flushed down. Actually, we did get a bounce. We did, actually. We got, if you go down to the 2 minute, and this was the one, this was the, yeah, this was the, if let's go to the 1 hour. I think this is what why I was looking at it. Maybe not. Yeah, right here. So we came up and then we got rejected, right? And then we pushed through it. And then when we come back to it, you're gonna get some sort of reaction here. I don't care. You're just gonna get something. It might not be big, but you're gonna get something. And then what happened? Even at market open, yeah, we came down and we bounced off it, right? We come down, we bounced. Like that's a pretty decent bounce. 57. Yeah, not bad, you know? So that's really the only thing that I'm doing is just looking to the left. Let's go to the 1 hour. And obviously the bigger the time frame, the bigger the reaction is going to be. The harder it struggles on the bigger time frames, you're just going to get you're going to get it's going to happen again, especially the first time it comes back to that area. So even these all-time highs, okay? We can I'll mark it out just to say that's an all-time high, right? Let's put this into orange. So when we come back to here, and it might not be tomorrow, it might be even a month from now, when we do come back to here, you're gonna get most likely 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get one red candle. Like when we touch it, you're gonna get some sort of reaction there. Um, it's just that simple. Um, what the hell? Oh, stocks. Try futures. There we go. Now we're onto something. Look at this gap, weekly gap. Holy cow. Yeah, that was a crazy run up last night. I uh I was I was not I was not expecting that at all. That was a crazy gap up. It's kind of nice to see some reactions. I don't like predicting, like I'm not here to predict anything, but I don't know. I don't know how much higher we can go. Obviously, we can just keep going and going and going like we have been for years, really. Since 2020, really. We've been just on a bull run, right? So how, like 5 years later, I don't know how much longer we can keep going. Like I feel like there should be a big correction here soon, but I mean, chances are. So for those that don't know, Jerome Powell is speaking, and by the sounds of it, he will be. It's like they're saying 100% chance of rate cuts. So let me see here. Wednesday, 2 o'clock. Yeah. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock, And from last month, we've gone over this before. Typically, when Jerome Powell starts speaking, you're gonna get lots of volatility, and then it's gonna it'll be, if you've never seen it before, you're gonna get massive candles. Like on the 15 minute, you're gonna get like 200-point candles most likely, right? And especially, I don't know how long it's been, the rates have been paused for, but it's been a long time, right? Like the longest it's been in a while. So it's like, I'm not a, I guess I am a betting man because I'm play the stock market, but not really a betting man. But if I was to bet, I think we're gonna flush out tomorrow. It's just, it's buy the rumor, sell the news. I always think of that. I always think of like everything's already baked in. Everybody wants to make money on growth, right? And so once the growth is over and everything kind of starts going sideways, that's when people start taking profit, right? So like how much more is everything gonna grow? But then I was thinking the other day, there's I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't read any of the headlines, but Elon is is buying like like $1 billion worth of his own stock. So, and obviously he's, you know, part of the insider circle. So what does he know that we don't know, right? Like that's why Tesla has been going crazy this week, and like, so I don't know, like it's definitely crazy times. It's not really the time to put on a whole lot of risk. It's kind of the time to be disciplined, realize and accept the size of accounts that we have. Um, Trade them accordingly. Be okay with absolutely small days or 0 days. I've made no money this week. Like literally, I'm sitting idle so far this week. I've taken 2 trades today, no trades yesterday. My P&L is at zero for the week. I'm actually down a couple bucks just in transaction fees, and I'm perfectly okay with that. As long as I'm not going backwards, and even if I am going backwards, it is what it is. As long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm not going to be upset with it. And that's kind of the ultimate goal for myself, at least. And my plan is, because obviously there's got to be a snowball effect of some sort, right? So I'm always thinking of the future. It's kind of like a 5-year plan, right? Like, and that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at it for this month. I'm not looking at even next month or this winter or even next winter. Like, I'm looking so far out that, it's next level far out, like W patience kind of thing, right? And that's the way everybody should be looking at it. Like, I'm thinking, okay, when am I going to start sizing up? Well, for sure, I'm going to wait until my trailing drawdown is over with, right? So that'll be up. So when my account gets up to 3 grand, then I'm thinking I'm gonna and I'll go from 2 micros to 3 micros, and then maybe for every $1,000 I make over and above the buffer zone, I think I'll just add on 1 micro. Because if you do the math, 1 micro, that's 500 points that you would have to lose that $1,000 with that 1 micro. So, I mean, I think the odds are in my favor if I do it slow like that, so I'll have to basically have, and I can trade with the take profit, the 50K. I think it's six minis. So realistically, I'd like to get to the point where I could trade all 6 minis, but I'll have to have $63,000 in my account in order to trade with all 60 micros. So I hope that kind of like resonates with what kind of position size that you should be using, because it's super super important to not over leverage. And I know Brad says it every single day, but maybe the way I'm thinking you guys can resonate with a little bit, and that's just my game plan. That's my game plan. So if I'm if my profit target is like only 500 to $1,000, I could be ultimately, I might not be sizing up for 6 months, and that's okay. There is no rush. Guess what? In those, if I'm just break even or just chugging along, guess what? I'm not blowing accounts. I'm not spending money on evals. I'm not stressing myself out. I called up Savvy on Friday because I only took one trade. And man, I was so stress free. Since I've been doing this, today I was a little bit stressed, I'm not gonna lie, but it was just me being hard on myself for breaking so early in this journey and breaking the rules. But it's gonna happen. If whatever goals you guys have, you're gonna have like little setbacks. And today wasn't even a setback, it was just a rule break, which it is a big deal to me though. It's actually because that's the main thing I'm focusing on is following my set of rules. It's not the P&L, it's not my account size, it's the rules. I gotta. And I've said this to Savvy a few times. It's not about trading anymore. I don't give a fuck about the trading. It's me. I gotta start working on myself, and this is what I'm trying to prove to myself and to you guys, and showing you guys how not to blow accounts, not to spend a shit load of money on evaluations and stuff. So, and it's just a slow grind. Like, if think about it, if you're only a couple months into trading, and you're think and you actually follow what I'm doing, where you're only trading 2 micros, and you have a max stop loss for the day of $200, that means you'd have to be wrong 10 days in a row in order to blow that account. You're gonna have an account for at least 10 days. Back in the day, I could blow 10 accounts in uh in one day, right? So this is the thing, like slow and steady is fine. It's gonna take a lot longer um to be to build an account up if you're going backwards. If you're having major losses and having to restart accounts all the time, like that's going to be more draining on you than it is to have a break even day or a break even week or a month or even a year. It's going to be more exhausting on blowing accounts weekly, daily, or hourly. And I know you guys are doing it because I do it, and I know everybody does it, and it's so I'm telling you right now, that is what's going to stop you guys from trading. If you guys are blowing accounts hourly or daily or weekly, you will give up eventually. Because unless you have the dog in you, like me and Savvy, you're going to quit. I'm just telling you right now, if you because you're just going to keep doing it for a couple years, and then you're going to quit. And I don't want that for anybody. I want you guys to just take it easy, try to do something like what I'm doing. You can do the exact same thing, or just build yourself a set of rules and stick to them. The trading part of trading is the easiest part. It really is. And like Savvy says it all the time. I know I'm probably just recycling a lot of it, but it's just like it's so true. The trading part of trading is the easiest part. It really is. It's the following your own rules, holding on to an account for as long as possible, seeing tomorrow, right? That's basically if you can just keep seeing tomorrow, then you're gonna get it eventually, right? And I'm fine with if it takes me 2 years where I can have an account large enough and do it the right way and showing everybody and being transparent with everybody, where I can put on 6 minis with every single trade every single day, and you make $5,000 to $10,000 a day, that then my 5 year plan will be realized, and that's my end goal. Is in 5 years, I'll be able to trade with 6 minis and do that, right? It's either a no trade day or one trade a day. I make 2 grand, make 10 grand, or you lose that, right? It's one or the other, and you're going to be happy with it because you're sticking to your rules. Trading one day, one trade a day, putting yourself in the best position possible, and just sticking to it. Have that slow grind, right? And imagine the freedom that you would get from that. So that's the ultimate goal for me at least, and I hope it is for you guys too. Anyways, that's the end of my rant. I hope that did everybody well. Thanks, guys.